Hello, I'm Wings the Wolf, and this is the second episode of my world building series focused on the 4 islands that have dragons on them. If you haven't seen the first episode, that's okay. I will be referencing it, but it's not necessary to watch this one. I did a little bit of a goof while messing around with the recording software and no longer have the footage of me drawing the ref sheet for these guys, so instead I will be showing footage of me sketching them so you can have something to look at. At the end I'll show both, though. Please remember that this is just fiction and not a lot of this is realistic. I mean, it has dragons in it, so I assume you already know that. But without further ado, let's get into it. Last episode I drew the red dragons, but today we'll be focusing on the dark red dragons. I know that name's not confusing at all. They are very different from each other, though. In fact, the dark reds are different from most dragons. They are currently the only dragons that live in packs the whole year. These packs can range from 2 to 30 dragons, though usually they'll only be around 5 to 10 members. They are some of the smallest dragons, but their teamwork makes up for it. They only defend their territory from other dark reds, not other dragons in general. This is for a reason I'll get into in a moment. They have territories on 3 of the 4 islands: Central, Thurosem, and Paulus. They used to exist on Ignis Formis, but as of 200 years ago, this is no longer the case. I mentioned earlier that they try not to drive other dragons out of their territory. This is because of their diet. Dark reds are cannibals. At some point, I decided that they were addicted to dragon meat, but I never clarified in my notes if dragon meat was this way for all creatures, or if it was just for these specific dragons. I think I intended this to be only for dark reds, though, since there are other dragon-consuming species that don't have this problem. Like the placeholder name suggests, these dragons are dark red. They have layered scales, curved claws, a layer of large, curved and exposed teeth, and a layer of thinner, normal teeth. The claws on their wings are the largest proportion-wise of any dragon on the islands. Their horns are curved like a ram's, and at the tip of their tail is a club. Dark reds have fire breathing. Their method is different from red dragons, though. They follow spark-tooth theory with hydrogen. For those of you who don't know what spark-tooth theory is, it's a method of fire breathing that involves a gland that produces a flammable gas, and at least 2 teeth that, when rubbed together, creates a spark that ignites the gas. In this case, the normal inner teeth all have this effect. Dark reds also have saliva that has a similar effect of a monitor lizard's, making their bites cause more bleeding than they would have already. Technically, this isn't the spit, but the venom released from a gland on their lower jaws, but red dragons are constantly releasing a little bit of this, and it mixes with their spit. Dark red dragons have the potential to be some of the smartest dragons on the islands, but since most of their lives are spent in a crazed hunger for dragon meat, they lose out on a huge advantage. Despite this species has used tools the most out of any dragon. They often use rocks or sticks in hunts, and while not necessarily a tool, some of them have set very simple traps around their nests. Speaking of nests, these dragons typically nest in divots in the ground or in small dugout dens. They have some of the largest clutch size of all the dragons, but also the lowest survival rate, with up to 10 eggs being laid and only 1 or 2 hatchlings surviving on average. Almost all of these casualties are from sickness and not predation. I'm leaning towards cannibalism being the reason for this, but I also think that they might just have a weaker immune system. Dark reds are one of the dragon species that stay behind during migration, because they have the worst stamina of the dragons and can't make the flight. That, and they aren't welcome in the mega flock that I'll talk about more in another video. These guys are some of my favorites, so I'll wrap this up with some history on them. I said that they weren't on Ignis Formis as of 200 years ago. This was because of a terrible eruption that lasted longer than usual that forced most of the life on the island away. Most dragons simply circled the island until it was safe, but as stated earlier, dark reds don't have good stamina. Most of them died off. The only survivors were ones that managed to make it to Thermosen. The population of dark red dragons there entirely descends from the ones who migrated 200 years ago. And that's all on these guys for now. Thanks for watching, and here's the finished art. If you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, make sure and leave a comment. It helps my channel a lot, and I will be posting a lot more now that my storage problem is somewhat solved. Have a good day, and enjoy the bloopers. These claws on their... They have layered scales, curved claws, a layer of curved claw... No. I messed that up, didn't I? Proportion-wise of any dragon on the teeth. Gosh. They have the large clutch side. They have, yes. Almost 3 of these casualties. What? Not 3. Almost all of them. Why? Ones that nope, I'm redoing that. On them really quick. No, that's not even what the script said at all. Why? Therosim. The population. Did I pronounce that right? I didn't. And that's all for. Oh, no. Oh.